Back here on the Reier on YouTube channel on a Monday night, it is time once again for Cart Golf. Travis Reier, joined by industry insider, as we have dubbed him now, Mr. Casey Smith. Casey, we've got some PGA Tour to talk about on the program tonight. We're going to kind of go around the globe with golf as it relates to the professional ranks. And we'll start right there with Matthew Fitzpatrick. A lot of credit to that guy. Tough loss in Ponte Vedra just a week earlier. You know, I kind of rode this with Shane Lowry with that after the Cognizant, thinking maybe he would go up to Bay Hill and respond in a similar nature. I think, though, for Fitz, even though he came up short against Cam there at the stadium course, it wasn't like he had quite the collapse Shane Lowry had. I mean, that's pretty traumatic, I think, in comparison. But give Fitzpatrick a lot of credit. Tough golf course. Golf course was a big winner, too, in terms of how it held up to that field. No Scheffler, no Rory. We understand that, but still a really solid field down there in the Tampa area.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good win for him. Golf course definitely has become one of the consistently, tougher courses on tour relative to par and score. Fitzpatrick winning his 13th time as a professional, 10 on the European Tour, 3 on the PGA Tour. He's obviously got one U.S. Open there at the Country Club. Thought he really beat a good field. I mean, he's a very consistent player. 68, 68, 69, 68. Didn't the last 2 rounds were bogey free, which always helps, especially with those closing holes there. I feel like the guy's played 7 events this year. He's made 7 cuts. He's got a win. He's got a second. He's got 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, 5 top 25s, and the guy, to me, from Ryder Cup play, it was hot as a firecracker. He gets really, really, really hot, scalding hot, and he's working with Mark Blackburn out of Birmingham there at Greystone. And I was listening to some of his tapes. He takes it inside a little bit, he dumps it, and what he really tried to do over the last few years, he was not hitting it very far, and he's gained 20 something yards off the tee, consistently. 10 miles per hour ball speed. Usually that equates to about 2.8 yards per mile per hour. And he said that, he was dumping it inside. He likes to play a cut. He was hitting these draws, and they've sort of gotten it to where he was trying to swing the same swing all the way through. Now they're swinging different swings, which makes sense. And then I even heard him say, he does the cross-hand chipping thing. So think about everything's a little bit different, right? And his putting is his worst thing he's doing. You and I were talking offline about maybe why that's not, a reason why he wouldn't be contending at Augusta. I think if you still go out and you do what he's capable of doing, of playing really mistake-free golf, 468s at Augusta gets you pretty close in the mix, So I think really good golf ahead for Matthew Fitzpatrick. Seems to be in a really good spot. And, game's really, really trending. He's hitting his irons, and his irons are elite. His proximity to the hole and irons are elite. His driving's obviously gotten better. So if you see him make some putts, he can win every week.
Yeah, that's what he did down the stretch. 15, 18 in that final round, made the bomb on 15. And absolutely, if he can do that on a more consistent basis, different animal we know with the complexes and the way they roll at Augusta National, you can feel like you're on form going there and still have a really bad week trying to putt those greens. But he's got the stuff. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He answered that with that U.S. Open win, I think, a couple of years ago. But going into that final round on Sunday, Sung Jae M and, Brandt Snedeker, blast from the past. You had a really good storyline potentially in Brandt. It felt like maybe ran out of gas a little bit. He was working so hard to stay in that tournament, it felt like, for 3 rounds. To do it for another 18 holes proved to be a little bit much. Still left there with a top 20, so that's a good thing for Brandt. But Sung Jae M, for as solid as that guy hits it, It seems like maybe final rounds aren't necessarily his best friend. And he just got off to a horrific start on Sunday. It was good to see him actually bounce back and sort of backdoor, went out the back door, came back in for a top 5 when it was all said and done. But sure, with that leaderboard, I don't think it was a huge surprise. Similar for Fitzpatrick to even the players, where he started that final round. I think he was about 5 shots back
He was.
of Ludwig and going in that
Yeah.
round and came back and got it done.
Sungjae is someone I watch every week. Will Wilcox is his caddy from, Birmingham area, Pell City, and just had mutual friends with him for a long time. And he's always talking about how he flushes. Sung JM is just the flusher of all. And it seems like, that was like the first time he's solo led going into the final round in a few years, right? He hadn't even been, he's very consistent. He's made the
He's an
tour championship a
ATM.
ton.
Yeah, makes a ton of cuts.
Plays, he lives over
Plays
here in
a ton.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
He from the first 3 or 4 years out, he did not buy anywhere. Maybe in been 5 years. He bought over at TPC Sugarloaf in a very Korean community. And that's where he settled really because of that practice, whatever, airport. But he was living on the road like a vagabond. He said he rented a couple of places for like 2 weeks, but most of it was just go around and see America and see different things. Guy's got a ton of game. I was really hoping he would win. I wasn't pulling against Matthew Fitzpatrick. Xander, to me, was a little quiet, 4th place. He was the chalk going in to the week. I think that's probably got to give him some feel goods prior to this Masters. He's sort of trending in the right direction. I tell you, I wanted to keep an eye on Steven Yeager. He's moved a couple of doors down from my business partner, and I think it seems like he's in a really good spot with his game. He's worked with Scott Hamilton at Cartersville, and he seems the last 2 years he's really just, getting a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable. He hits it a ton. And then our guy Blades Brown at 40th, he made some money. Yeah, that's good for him.
It was. I know you like Jacob Bridgman going into the event, and he gives you a top 15. So kudos to you on writing that one. And what about Brooks Koepka? Obviously, maybe the weekend wasn't exactly what he wanted, but he had the 67 in round 2, and he gets another top 20, and he's another guy that seems to be trending in a very positive direction. Do you think with that mallet now, maybe he's settling in a little bit more and, got a chance to make one of those runs coming up here in a couple of weeks?
I do. I think I looked at his sort of scheduled finishes and seems more interested than he's been to me. That should be scary for everyone. The guy's going to show up in the majors. There's 4 majors this year. You can, to me, I would say you can almost count on 2 of them. He's going to finish top 10. Now he may have 2 off weeks, but he'll be a factor in 2 of them. Game looks really good. I think that new mallet's going to help him. He's, I joined the club. I went and got me the same one this week.
Welcome aboard, Casey.
You can't beat them, join them, right? They laughed. They were like, yeah, we can't, these things are hotcakes. I saw 3 people buy one while I was in the store, right? It's just,
the spider. It is what it is. You got spider bit. They get spider bit with that spider,
If you're a golf hardo and you watch enough golf and they only show, which that's what I always tell my dad, they only show the putts that go in.
Yes.
They don't show the missed putts. But yeah, I think Brooks Koepka's, and I had lunch with the guy that knows him really well last week, and he's got his game. I think his life is back in order. I think his life got a little off kilt, and his life is back in order now. And it makes a world of difference. I think he's got to still play. We'll see him again probably this week. He doesn't have the luxury of playing, when he wants right now. That obviously could change. And I think
he's got the exemption into the Masters, right? With the PGA win a few years ago.
He's exempt in the Masters. That's why they went to he was exempt in the Masters. He went and played in it. And obviously that gets you 10 more years.
He's
or
got
whatever. Maybe
5
it's
majors.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's it's all those padded up um, stats or exemption categories for you.
Mhm.
Because if you win the players, you get 5 years on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
I think
Is
if
it
you won the
still 10
PGA
for the US Open or what?
10, well, it's five. I think it's 5 on the tour,
Right.
and then it's 10 if you win the Open. You get 10 in the Open.
Yeah. Yeah.
Masters is lifetime. PGA is 10 years now. It wasn't. Open Championship is pretty much lifetime.
What about if you're on one of these teams on the TGL championship tonight that I got up here at about 10 o'clock? Max Homa and Justin Rose. That ain't get your blood pumping on a Monday night, Casey.
You got that.
TGL League Championship. Tiger got that flag in his back pocket, ready to throw the hammer whenever the time brings that about. It's just sheer electricity down in South Florida tonight.
Yeah, you got as some people call it, Team Rose. He puts all that out there in his social media. Who is a nice guy but doesn't have a great personality. Tommy Fleetwood and Thigali are going against Max, Tom Kim, and Kisner, and Coach Tiger, and his presence is pretty felt, as you can
Looming
see. But
right now on the side of the green, Coach Tiger.
the hottest player in the whole game, Akshay, is playing in the Indian Open.
I saw that.
And
yeah,
they were, which I even thought that was funny. I'm like, guys, really? He has to get clearance to play, but he can play and get some sponsored exam. He's probably get $1 million for going
go over there though, and you get that New Delhi belly, and then try to come back and play Augusta.
By the way, it's also the tightest golf course, tightest driving golf course they play. Not even close. I mean, it's tough.
You think Akshay got a little appearance fee money to go over there?
Yeah. I think the only reason he's going is you get it like one of those or two of those every once in a while $1 million. They were trying to get him to fly out after tonight's finals. And he basically I read where he told him, look, this is committed. I don't know what you make in TGL, but he was jumping on the train and going on. That's what got Kevin Kisner, who they were trying to avoid playing again, back, which is just, I mean, they must be taking it pretty serious. He left yesterday before the telecast, went from Tampa to, I don't even know what the distance is from Tampa to Jupiter, but he went to Tampa to Jupiter to practice and back for the
catch a toll
telecast.
Road maybe down there. Yeah.
I was guessing you're probably on the big cats playing.
Tiger in the Sunday red.
Keeping the airways hot.
Oh yeah.
He was up in Augusta last week, getting a little practice in.
So we still thinking Tiger trending towards the Masters?
He was in Augusta, Georgia last week. I know for a fact, and was playing golf.
Well, they closed the Hooters, so we know it wasn't for that.
They closed the Hooters, and there's not a whatever diner that there was in Orlando. So I would say yes. I think trending big time to play. And I looked at the schedule to see when the Champions Tour would, play. I think he might show up in Birmingham. I don't think he'll play over here in Duluth on that tour. I think the first time we're going to see him play golf is the Masters. I was thinking he would get something in. He's not playing in Newport this week on the Champions Tour. Yeah, and they were trying to get him into that. They thought that would be the lock to get him in the Masters, but apparently, body and everything's trending in the right direction. I just don't know if he can walk that many holes out there. That is a really, really, really difficult walk for a well person.
I'm guessing, I know he can play Augusta National in his sleep and probably still make a cut, even in his current physical state. But, that may be the answer to that question if he does give it a go. It might just be a 36-hole event for him. We'd have to see about that. But, yeah, one of the things to come from Matthew Fitzpatrick's win at Valspar was the interesting situation involving one of his playing partners in slow play. And, boy, It's just amazing that we're still dealing with it. It's like a palmetto bug, in South Carolina. You can't kill them. You can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of slow play, apparently. I loved it because, as you can see, my visor right here, what does that say?
Play fast.
Play
I love it.
fast. What
Be ready to play is
what
the
can we
issue
do?
with people.
What can we do, Casey, about this?
I'll tell you what, they want to make a big deal about it, and then they don't want to do anything for accountability. The way to fix this, they will play faster, is if you take shots away from them,
Pop them.
if you take strokes away, they will play faster. That's money. It's such a, I mean,
Yeah.
they know how
Status
thin the margin is.
points.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting, I think if you do it and you post Oakmont, hardest golf course, consistently thought of in the United States of America. The caddy, I've played there 20 times. The caddies wear GPS is on their bibs. If you're a member, I mean, think what I just said, the hardest golf course. If you're a member and you bring guests and your caddy gets GPS times over 4 hours, over 4 hours, you're getting a note. You have a grace period to 4:15. At 4:16, you're getting a note. 4:16 times, you're out for 90 days.
Wow.
And they're posting the times of anybody that gets. Now, most of it finishes. He said it's
And they
really
they don't pause your dues while you're out 90 days either.
no.
Right.
So that tells you, tells you something. The same pro that instituted that was at Seminole forever, Bob Ford, and because tee boxes and greens at Seminole are by each other, 3:30 at Seminole, 3:30. Hey, and I think it's like if they can do that, if you can play that golf course and you're a member play, if you're a PGA Tour player, you can certainly play faster. You look at Fitzpatrick, look at Ludwig. I think it's just ready to play. Sanders turned into a just rain delay.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And the guy that Fitz was playing with is horrible. Yeah. I mean, Fitz, I thought may have gotten in trouble.
Was what Fitz did by going to a rules official
about
one of his own play. Was that out of pocket among players on the PGA Tour? Is that frowned upon to do something like that?
I don't think he would have done that had it been, you name the guy that's top 20,
Right.
He wouldn't definitely have if he would have been a European. He would have said, hey.
Xander's doing that.
Well, right. And so that's what I'm saying. Top 20 play. Like, there's some of that. I think Fitz is thinking about, I'm about to cash a check. I'm about to win. I just finished bridesmaid. I'm not going to let any of this crap get in my way. Right. I'm going to go be an alpha and do what I got to do to win this tournament. My best thing I can do is get him to eat. But when he hit out of turn, I thought they just frown upon that on the PGA Tour so bad. Obviously, when we play golf, hit it whenever you want. Ready golf. Be ready to hit when it's your turn and get ready to play. And he just, I like what he did. I really thought, though, he was about to get dinged himself. And hopefully more people police that. That's what they want him to do. I only think the way that you can do this is to dock them. I think it's too hokey. Don't have enough volunteers for shot clocks. I don't think that's going to work. I think it's.
Oh, I want shot clocks on top of the digital boards. They got digital boards on every hole now. I want a shot clock up there. As soon as you are at the golf ball, start the clock on the digital board. And
it's helped
have
baseball.
The crowd chant it down. 8, 7, 6.
It's helped baseball.
Yeah.
To me, it's helped baseball. I thought baseball had turned very boring to me, and then that made baseball better. I think golf, the amount of what they don't get either, the amount of shots you could show to fit in that window, you could show 20% more shots. And that's the really big fault to me that is television, golf on television, is you don't get to see enough shots. And like what I said offline was like, and they only show the makes, or maybe I just said that. They only show the made putts. It's like, let's see more shots. Well, we can't show enough shots. We've got guys taking forever.
Yeah. And
the aim point, standing on the line, some of that's got to also be brought in. I don't think that's fair for the guys at the back of the, you're leading the tournament and you're going to now go play in greens that are just stepped all over and around the hole because they don't care. It's
I just don't know how you achieve a rhythm in your game if you
you
play
don't.
that slow. Tiger Woods doesn't play that slow. Jack Nicklaus was not a slow player. He was deliberate, but he wasn't slow. Arnold Palmer was not a slow player. I don't recall Gary Player or Lee Trevino or those guys that old heads like myself grew up with being those kind of players. There certainly, to your point, wasn't aim point. I mean, you had plumb bobbing, some of that stuff. But I think the older players too, maybe they were a little more dependent on their caddies too. Maybe there was more of that than there is now.
Well, I was gonna say sort of the opposite. Like caddies if you go play a
That's
place where
true.
there's caddies, right?
Yeah.
Caddies are the ones that are going to get you ahead. They're getting paid.
Yeah.
They're getting paid. They know they're getting paid, and longer time is not it. Caddies out there are making real money. It's
Yeah.
substantial money. Some of them get into wanting to make this, that help the player. I think there's just
Interjecting.
actually, I think it's information overload out there, and I don't think they're ready to play. Like it's your turn. Be ready to play. It's
Mhm.
your turn. Be ready to play. It's like, all right, it's my turn. Let me get my glove on. What are you thinking? Then if I have to switch gloves, it really slows it down. They all have, I really am a subscriber of a process if you're playing professional golf. I think
Sure.
amateur golf, go play as fast as you can. But a process you can lean back on. But it's a process that you're doing while you're getting ready to play. It's not when it's your turn to hit.
Efficiency in it, and
Yeah. We
consistency
we
in it.
just need they why I don't understand why they can't go. Here's the time you have to finish in. You're
Right.
playing a freaking twosome. We're gonna sit and they should just tee. I think they should do double T twosomes. It would just get everything around. Just
Yeah.
do double T twosomes. You don't have. I mean, I'm not asking you to do shotguns.
Right.
Or
Um,
if you're so because here's the deal. The last thing that get me fired up on this. If we're talking about people that are doing this play, playing 4 hour rounds of golf, shooting 85 to 100,
right.
average golfers,
I'm
right?
a
Eh,
16. I can play in 3.5 easy.
yeah. I mean, if
And I
I
know
can
I'm in a
play,
golf cart, but still, I can walk 9 in an hour and a half.
I
I
expect to
mean,
play golf in 3 hours and 30 minutes for sure if I'm in a golf cart,
yeah,
or less. And the better you play, the fewer shots you got to hit and
yeah.
the less time it should take. Like I just said, he shot 68, 69, 68, 68. He's taking more time than people that are shooting 100
Yeah, and I
or their
understand
round is.
there's way more on the line on the PGA Tour, just professional golf in general. Even if you're on a mini tour, there's a lot on the line because if you don't play well at that level, you're never going to climb the ladder and ultimately get to that highest level. But I saw something really dumb on X. Imagine that, right? Breaking something dumb on X about 15 and unders are the only players that should have tee times at a club or a muni before 10 a.m. If you're not a 15 or under, you shouldn't have a tee time until I played with plenty of 14 and unders that are human rain delays. And I played with plenty of 20s that can get around in 3.5 hours. So I think that's a load of garbage when you just look at it in terms of skill and handicap and those type of things. There's just a general sense of awareness and courtesy that too many damn people don't subscribe to when it comes to golf, which makes me wonder about everyday life as we go beyond that.
I think phones and stuff have probably hurt, the pace. I think regular golf has got to have more, martial. But around here, the stuff flows.
Yeah.
People are playing their golf
Yeah.
in a timely manner. I will say, when I really play try to play warp speed fast, and a lot of that's when you're playing a new course, you're a guest, and you're playing fast. I'm probably gonna give up 3 or 4 shots, right? Yeah, I'm probably gonna, and if I'm playing really good, even like I was thinking about that, like played Pine Valley for 3 days, shot 375s, but was 3 hours and 5 minutes, three
Zooming.
hours and 10 minutes, three
Yeah.
hour, and I felt like I gave up 4 or 5 shots. But
Right.
like, hey, you know what? Everybody was freaking happy. The person hosting us was thrilled, and I just think if you play fast, and if you play bad, play faster. Like nothing, no one's gonna just take a damn pick the ball up, put it in your pocket,
Yeah.
go to the next
Play
hole.
triple max. I mean, that's a big thing too. If you are above a 15 or whatever, play triple max. Get out of
I
there.
tell every I
You
tell
know,
every single person I'm friends with who's loves golf and's not great. Don't hit it more times than a triple bogey.
that's
You're not
it.
gonna get anything out of it. Just
Yeah.
pick it up and go on.
Yeah. Absolutely. So as we talk about Fitz and Bryson DeChambeau, second straight win on the Live Tour brings up a topic for you, Casey, for us to discuss. The hotter player right now, if you had to pick between the two, Matthew Fitzpatrick or Bryson DeChambeau?
I would say give me Bryson DeChambeau just because of ceiling.
So you're
Uh,
looking ahead to Augusta. Is that what you're
yeah,
saying? Yeah.
yeah.
With
Because I think
respect
if he
to
ever
Augusta.
if he ever gets hot over there with his driver, I mean, I
Mhm.
was listening to Cameron Young this week after his win, and I would say if you're going to say three of those, I'd give me him. I like him and his game, the way that putting's rolling. He was talking about partnering with Bryson when they won that match in the Ryder Cup
Mhm.
and he hits it so good off the tee, and
Mhm.
he was raving about how Bryson when he was dialed his tee ball. I was like, whoa, I want him to hit all my tee balls. I mean, that tells you something. So the guy, and out of Augusta, you can, I mean, we've seen it over time. You get to bombing your driver, you're turning those 7 and 8 irons coming into those quadrants into wedges. Just a
Mhm.
lot easier to get close to the hole, a lot easier to, a lot, it helps your scoring. So for that answer, yeah, I would say if you're playing Harbor Town, give me Matt Fitzpatrick.
Mhm. I would I would say I'm more impressed by what Fitzpatrick's done the last 2 weeks. Probably because of the golf courses as much as anything else. And certainly the field I can see with the players. The field this past week, it wasn't the players, it wasn't bad. I mean, you still had some legit dudes in that field. But I think to do what he did at the stadium course and then also to do it at Copperhead, I was more impressed by that, even though Bryson won each of the last two events. I think the golf course in Singapore is pretty legit too. Now this one in South Africa last weekend, it looked like resort golf. It looked like if you cut Bryson DeChambeau loose on North River in Tuscaloosa or somewhere, it kind of what he and the Southern Guards would do to that
He
type of
he
place. And I love North
he
River.
beat
It's not a knock on North River. It's just you put these kind of players on those kind of tracks, they're going to eat them up.
They shoot nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he and Rom to beat Rom. I really do think Rom is one of the top five players in the world. Um, he's driving it
Yeah.
incredibly well. They both shot 26 under, which definitely goes to your point that they are playing 4 rounds now, but still, that's
And
pretty
I don't
deep.
get into the field strength as much because I still, to your point, if John Rahm's there every week, that's one big time dude you got to beat
There's good.
every week.
There's plenty. Look, they're top heavy with a lot of talent over there. There's no. I don't think if you really look at it unbiased, like yes, there may be more people, and a lot of these PGA Tour fields don't have a ton more players, but they're really deep at Live. They've got their biggest asset is their roster, and
Mhm. Still,
I
how many
think
guys do you really have to beat, right? On the PGA Tour.
on the PGA Tour, like in that event, you're probably. I mean, anyone can win out there. That's the thing. I
Right.
mean, if you're playing professional golf, you can have that. They just get crazy hot, and they all know how to score. I think out of the PGA Tour, like this past week, I mean, Matthew Fitzpatrick probably one of the class players in the field, or was top 10 player. The chalk was Xander at 4. They both finish
Mhm.
relative to where they're probably are. I would say this week would have been 20 on the PGA Tour you had to beat.
Mhm.
You know, on Live it's probably 15, right? Maybe 20. It's not their top 20's really dang good.
Mhm.
It's not. I mean, Neiman, right? Cam Smith. I mean, you can go. You can get all those young guys. Puig. They're all
Mhm.
really. Thomas Dietrich's great. So I think Yeah, I mean they've had some good people win this year. Anthony Kim, Rom, a couple of Brysons, and 100,000 people
Yeah,
there, but ratings are trash. They're
yeah, they are.
garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really bad. It's actually just barely better than the TGL.
Well, the global tournaments, the time of day that they're asking you to watch live, you're in bed, or it's the middle of the night too. That's where that comes up short in terms of
You can't make enough
consumption.
money. You can't make enough money. You could go have a lot. You can make a lot of money, but not enough, I think, to pay what they're paying to go to. If you did an event in Canada,
Yeah,
people would go nuts, right? If they do keep doing these events in countries that are starved, they're going to get these huge crowds, and they can't get it to translate to television. I wish the tour would borrow some of their. They show more shots. They show 70% more shots. I don't like some of the way that they list the stuff and all that,
mhm.
but some of the technology they have is definitely better.
Pretty much got away from the pylon, I guess it seems like. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they there are some things. I mean, it's just I get the startup. I just don't. I think you're about to see they'll have players, but Roms and Bryson are both done after this year. I think this is it for
that's it
them.
for them.
I mean, and then you'll just what they're not going away, but you got to still have some star power, and
Well,
they'll
my
have some
my
guys stay and
concern,
play, but it's
yeah,
going to be more of a what I'm talking. It's just going to be the 100,000 person event in Australia and South
yeah.
Africa and Asia and stuff like that.
My concern for Fitz, where the Masters is concerned, Augusta National is concerned, and this may sound crazy to some people, is I don't think it's hard enough for him to win. I think it needs to be hard. I think the harder a golf course is, the better off he is. And kind of to your point, Augusta doesn't still penalize bombers enough, or it can't penalize them enough. There's always a play for Bryson. Bryson's got 2 top 10s in his last 2 appearances at Augusta. Had a struggling start at the Masters to his career. Looks like, though, the last couple of years he's trending very much in that direction. Now, Fitz, I think, has played in 11 Masters. He's made 10 cuts, but he hasn't been a consistent presence in terms of legitimately competing. I think stadium course can be very, very difficult. Copperhead can be very, very difficult. What was the winning score this week? 9 under, 10 under,
11.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he birdied 2 of the last 4. I think it's better for him that way.
It's a good point. That's a very, very, very strong point. He, prior to 2022, when he won the US Open, he really worked on getting longer. Goes from like 110 to 119 club head speed. And they were saying 120 something. He's really averaging about 118 or 19, which is a big pickup. And he just got better everywhere else. His putting is what's going to keep him from winning at Augusta. Even yesterday, when he made a couple of those bomb putts, I didn't feel like your stroke doesn't have to look great, just has to get on the line. But it it definitely was, it definitely was. I thought, hey, flatter greens, they're running about 11. They're not running 13 and a half. You're not hitting it to, aiming over here to 9 on the clock and it's winding up at 6 at Augusta, right? I mean, you're putting crazy lines, crazy things. And no, I mean, someone has to have a good putting week that week
Yeah.
to win. So you can have a good putting week. I think if you're giving me the 2 of those guys, and give me Bryson to win the Masters and probably have a better year. I think Matthew Fitzpatrick will be a factor in a bunch. Your point is very, very, very good. He'll be a factor in the tougher events, majors. I think you're right.
Yeah. So as we consider the week behind us, my guy Steven Alker at my golf course out there in Tucson got it done. Back-to-back wins on the Paw Paw Tour at La Paloma in the Cologuard Classic. Won in a playoff. Poor Patrick Harrington kind of took the gas there on 18 in regulation. They go to the playoff. Alker wins with a birdie, but Golf Channel didn't show us that. Golf Channel took us out to Northern California for the completion of the Fortinet Founders Cup on the LPGA Tour. And Hoo-Joo Kim, she shot 61 in a major when she was 18 years old. And she got it done Sunday out there at Sharon Heights Golf and Country Club in that sort of San Jose, San Francisco area. I'd never seen that golf course. Thought it presented very well on the show, on the golf show. And she gets it done over Nelly Korda. Nelly really closed a 5-shot gap quickly there in that final round before missing about a 2.5 footer on 17 to stay a shot back. She ultimately falls by a shot to Kim. Nelly Korda, unquestionably one of the very best players in the women's game and has been for quite some time now. Sometimes, though, with Nelly, I get a sense, Casey, that there's a little Lexi Thompson sometimes. The game and all those things are there, and then there's sort of this inexplicable situation that'll crop up. And again, Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, all those things. But sometimes you're left to wonder how much more she could do than she actually has.
She's definitely the Adam Scott of the female game. I think she's got the best golf swing, maybe on all the tours.
Yeah.
I think her golf swing is the best. So to your point, yeah, I would think that even as much as she's done, and she did have that run a couple of years ago where she, won a ton. And I would expect to see more of that from her, just given how talented she is. Yeah, she does have a little bit of like an airhead type-ish mistake that comes up, or something really weird happens, like that 2.5 footer. I mean,
Yeah.
she's also a spider person, but I do thought the course presented well. The Fortnite Founders, the purse was up $450,000 first prize.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like those are going to be around to stay. I did see where my friend Chad Coleman, who was at Dude Perfect in Callaway, is now at the LPGA guy, and he, of course, man, that's what he's gonna say. But I saw him saying that he thought it was the most LPGA had the best stories, most untold stories, all of that to really they needed to really dig into telling the stories about their players to get more fan interaction. I honestly think that they should make some of the holes risk reward drivable, do some things to they take a long time to play though. And I know they're trying to do anything they can do to avoid um fast play. But the LPGA, the reason why they're like one reason why it's mundane and can be boring, none of the par fives they have them set up where they're reachable in two. And they don't ever have risk reward drivable par fours. It's just a hit and straight game, and they don't really feature what Nelly Cortez and others can do. But I saw what you saw. I was hoping they would keep the Champions Tour going. I was shocked that they went over there. And Steven Alker, though, by the way, that was he's now won $15 million since 2021. Monday queued in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't have ever got on the Champions Tour. He missed 21 straight Corn Ferry Tour cuts, I read.
He's made all of his money out there, really. I mean, if you think about it.
Period. All of his money. He's made $15 million in 5 years. I mean, that's great for Champions Tour. It's great for anywhere.
Where else was he going to make that after the age of 50, no less?
Well, and you got Zach Johnson and 2 gloves.
That's Tommy Gainey, the people's champion. 2 gloves was my rooting interest there out in Tucson. Came up a little bit short, but another top 5. And he won here in Jacksonville last fall, so he's good to go.
Yeah, I mean, they're you can make good living. I think that was a $400,000 purse.
Yeah, I think it was $350 for the winner.
And they you got Alker, Harrington, 2 gloves, Sink, Longer were their top 6. Those are all good names.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna, I don't know. They're dumping away from the Champions Tour on television. There may not be much going there. If Tiger doesn't go there, the Champions Tour probably.
They're trying to sell that tour, right? I mean, pretty much. The PGA Tour subsidized it now, and I don't think they would have a problem with a buyer maybe coming along. But Tiger could change a lot of that too, as we know.
They just know they're not going to be able to get a lot of years out of him.
Hmm.
And I think when that Champions Tour started or Senior Tour started, they got a lot of time out of those greats that started that.
Hmm.
And now you would have to do things to get commitment to me from the other guys. You would have to do some incentives. Maybe you could. It's for profit though now. So, that's just it's a different deal when it goes for profit.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
your CEOs and top level brass are making $19 million a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. But yeah, so we look ahead to this week, and it's off to Texas for the PGA Tour. It's kind of a weird move going from Florida to Texas and then back to Augusta, but we've got the Texas Children's Houston Open and some nice names going to be in the field this week. I'll say this for Fitz too. He kind of robbed a couple of guys of those Masters dreams in getting that win down there. He's already in for the Masters. He didn't need it. You had some guys there right behind him at Valspar, like David Lipsky, like Jordan Smith, come up a shot or two short from punching their ticket to Augusta National. What do you think about this week? Anybody that stands out, and maybe some of the storylines that you're honing in on out there?
Yeah, I would say David Lipsky. I watched where he said, "I'm the runner-up king." Like, I guess he's finished twice, but he seemed pretty hurt from that. This would be the week where you would see, because I looked at this up, and this would be the week where you would see a Davis Riley who's been playing. He usually does that, right? He likes to play well in Texas. That's sort of where I was thinking, because while watching what he did last week, he made like 15 birdie, or he made like 10 birdies and shot 15 over. So it's you're playing like really good golf, and then something's going on to be making that many bogeys. Uh, that wouldn't be who I would actually pick. I don't. Let me hold thought on that. Who are you going with?
Yeah, I mean, just some of I think Scotty's in the field. I mean, and
Yeah,
it, and
that's what I
it
thought.
feels like at some point a field is going to have to pay for this so-called Scotty slump of late. So really hard. I thought Doug Gim for a while there, down at Innisbrook was going to be right there at the end. So he'd be a guy. He's kind of one of those off the radar guys that has actually played some pretty good golf the last year or so that I would have my eye on. You're always looking at guys that are trending in the right direction. Goddard's in the field this week. Gracerman is one of those guys that I would look at as well.
I mean, the chalk Scotty plus 350, Minwoo Lee plus 1500
Defending
second.
champion Minwoo, yeah.
Yeah, Goddard up plus 2000. You go Brooks Koepka plus 2700. Sam Burns at plus 2700 is interesting. I actually like Marco
Yeah.
Binge is really bombing it. That would probably be one of my picks if I was taking. I would think I would probably take him, but I don't see how you don't. Scotty Scheffler in this field playing in Texas, I would think he's going to do pretty well. I mean, wouldn't shock me if Chris Goddard up one either.
No, no. I like the golf course too. Muni this week with Memorial Park Golf Course there in Houston. So we always like to
That
see that.
it is weird to go the way they're doing this. I think you'll see this change on the PGA Tour going forward. I think you're going to see the flow of the tour change. The more that keeps getting leaked out of opening, where they're going to open, how they're going to go around the country. To not Florida did this before the Masters. They realized through Live they've got to get something pre-Masters that's a draw a little bit closer to get. The players would love for the players to be a little bit tighter in there, closer to it. Or, that's just the Masters is going to be when the Masters is every year. And the players, I think they found a good date and home there. They've got to find something to put in the middle of that's going to be a draw. And the only way I guess they can do that is to make it elevated. But it sounds like they're going to basically play and 27 all elevated, 100-player elevated events. If you got an event, it's going to be an elevated event. So, and with cuts, 4-round cuts.
So if I'm going to go, if you're going to make me pick 3 guys this week, I'll do a pick 3. Okay. I mean, obviously I'm going to go Scotty as one of my 3. I'll go Jake Knapp. I've been on that bandwagon here in the past, and I'll go Matthew Pavon as a little bit of a wild card there for my 3. I'll go Knapp, Pavon, Scotty. What about you?
I'll go. I'm looking. I want to get somebody with some high odds. Sung Jae is plus 8,000.
Wow, that's not bad.
Makes me want to go bet on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna pick Scotty. Give me. I'm looking at the odds here. Give me Chris Gotterup, Sung Jae, and Pinge.
Like it.
Marco Pinge. Those would be my 3.
All right. On the record with 3.
On the record.
Houston.
We're getting closer here to Augusta. We
have you played? Have you played any? Have you played lately? Did you play over the weekend?
I played last week, and I shot 2 under par, and I started 4 over par. So I felt really good about that. And I'm playing Thursday in Tuscaloosa at Indian Hills in this big ALS tournament. So
okay, good.
We'll see. We'll see. I actually have a
very unique golf course there at Indian Hills. Yes,
I got a Jacksonville Jaguar, like fanatic on my team. Kid whose grandparents used to own the Jags and sold it to Callahan.
Oh, God, it was J. Wayne Weaver. The Weavers own the Jags, but he may have been a part of the group or something.
Yeah, they're Ponte Vedra people. He's been in Tuscaloosa, but anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about exactly. Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
He's a good player. Yeah, that's. I'm hoping that now this weather, is ready to go.
I've been playing a lot.
You've been playing
a lot. Yeah, I came back from Arizona and then, played in a scramble for good old local 234 plumbers and pipe fitters here in Duval on Saturday. We played out at a course, Eagle Landing, one of your typical 90s residential golf courses. Just is what it is. It was a good time though. Great cause, scholarship fund for the local out there. We shot 8 under, which with our team, very, very respectable. Well, we didn't use the eraser on the pencil. We didn't pencil whip people. It was a very legit 8 under, which probably put us in about 28th place, at those scrambles like that. You shoot 8 under and you go into the awards and the winner at 27 under,
some of them have turned into a joke.
But that's not why you play in those. That's not why you play in those scholarship fund tournaments. You don't play in them to win, Casey. Not on my teams anyway. But
my teams are playing to win.
Well, your teams are legitimately good. I got guys going up to get the first place loot. And they got on cargo shorts and Vans tennis shoes.
COVID Morikawa, huh?
Yeah, COVID Morikawa's just killing us. And they're taking 6 hours to play. And
I called somebody at COVID Morikawa out loud. So that's a COVID Morikawa. My buddy the other day goes, I don't think that's a positive comment. When I told them the story, they're dying. They're like, that's it. They're like, that's it. That's it.
We got to get it trademarked. You want to talk about slow play. That's what it all goes back to. Like I said, I mean, a couple of things you should need to be certified and or licensed to do. And I'm more along the lines of recreational golfer is falling in line with a 18-wheeler operator, like a CDL. I think you need that almost at this point.
You just nailed it. Come in. If you're going to go play golf, you have somebody
4-hour course.
We're going to go out here and play. Here's what you do from the time you park by the
Yeah.
time you
This is
go,
where the
you
backdrop
get.
is.
We're going to give you a practice swing,
Yeah.
singular, if
Yeah.
you're taking that while no one else is hitting. If you want to go off to the side and do whatever you want to do while
Before
someone's
you go to the golf
hitting.
course, make sure you get some small bills, because if you get assistance at the bag drop, hit your guy or gal with a fiver, or at least, just from that point,
And
right
anyway,
on
it's
through the whole thing.
just yeah. And those people, if you notice, they're not fixing. No one's taught them. They don't even know what the tool is. I
Divot
make a ball
tool.
mark. I don't. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't fix my ball mark.
They think it's like a
And then
flosser. They got in their teeth,
what is that? And then a sand. I'm like sanding people's divots in the
Yeah.
fairways. You see them,
Yeah.
they hit, and they're just
Yeah.
cranking their creed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
It's
can take you
it's
higher. Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
great. That's great.
Yeah.
We got 1-1 over here at TGL.
Oh, yeah. Let me get a live TGL update over here.
And
Absolutely.
now, and
The
again,
gala.
I hate to sound negative, but by the way, before I even say that, did Tiger Woods ever think he was going to be the guy holding the flag
He's
all the
holding the
way?
flag. Yeah. Hey, but hey, that's good. He's doing his
he's
part,
good.
moving it
He's doing his
along.
part. He wants to win. That's the one thing you can tell. The competitive people like that,
Tom Kim.
they're not.
Tom Kim is all TGL. There's no doubt about that. It hadn't really translated as much to the tour lately, but
Well, what I
as
was
he
going to say
rolls in
about
another putt.
their
He loves
what
playing
I
in
was going
front
to
of
say.
Tiger, I think it is. I think if Tiger could be at every round that Tom Kim plays, Tom Kim would probably have won 3 majors by now.
I think you're right. He likes winning, and it's funny that I heard Tiger say the other night. He was like, this kid, he had never been to. He just told us he had never been to a party before.
Yeah.
Like, wow, he's been sheltered. What I don't get about this is
What's
another.
Tommy Fleetwood
Ooh,
wearing tonight, by the way? Columbia? I mean, he's worn about everything else on a golf course.
he is wearing.
Yeah. I was just kind of
He
kidding.
has tried everything. Right?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
and I guess
He's got Salt Life on tonight, maybe. Maybe he's got Salt Life or something.
He's got whiskey drip.
Oh, he ripped it through the break right there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing.
Yeah.
They're playing. That's what I was saying. They're playing best 2 out of 3, which is also like I
Do we
don't.
really need
I,
that?
dude, I don't. I mean, come on. I don't understand that. I could see where if they went to more of a tournament,
Mhm.
end of the year tournament format or something.
Mhm.
But like, I hope that they.
Home is all
This is gonna.
TGL too. Home is all TGL too. It hadn't really translated lately for him either, but
They love. They're. You're right. I mean, they're heroes. They're
it's
coach.
Tyga. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's he's a I heard him say he's a Dodgers and LA fan, Raiders fan, and so is
SoCal.
Tiger, and
Yeah.
they're all
They're
buddies with it. But
SoCals.
there's still, I would love to know. I'm gonna find this out before the next show. What are they playing for? That's what I want to know, because they've referenced that a few times
They don't list those
lightly.
purses though. Yeah.
They don't list, and they've referenced it a few times very lightly. Yeah, here we are. We're playing the putt hole through
Yeah.
the clown's mouth.
Caddyshack too.
Like,
Yeah.
this is so dumb.
Jackie
He could
Mason instead of Rodney Dangerfield. That was a catastrophe.
This is
Yeah.
so dumb.
Stinger. Playing Stinger.
And what's even crazier is we brought in our architect, consulting architect. They did this last year. They haven't done that. Gil Hans, to help us design a few of these holes. And then it's these new holes. I'm like,
Yeah.
Tiger Woods builds golf courses.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Fleetwood just chips a driver back in his stance, underneath the cliff. There you go. Feeds it down there. Yeah.
But we got more TGL coming next year.
Oh,
The
yeah.
ladies,
I mean,
we're having 4 nights of it.
the public, the golfing public has spoken, Casey, and they are just screaming for more of this content. So,
by the way, your guy, Miles Russell,
yeah,
was the leader. He was leading as of the showtime. The Monday queue for the KFT in Savannah.
oh, really? coming up this weekend.
Birdied 5 of the first 6 holes.
Yeah. That one gets Golf Channel coverage up there too on an annual basis. So
they get a good turnout. I mean, they do actually 2 site Monday Q there.
It's a good golf area up there. I mean, Hilton Head's 30 minutes away.
That's the airport, right? That Hilton Head uses?
Well, Hilton Head actually on island now has an airport. They extended the runway so they can land bigger planes. So U.S. Airs was flying out there. I think even Delta right off of Hilton Head Island. Used to be, It was pretty much Arthur Blank and the private jetters. You know, the Falcons owner has a place there on Hilton Head, and he would jet in and out. But they extended that runway. But you're right, the airport kind of between Savannah and Hilton Head is the main airport there. You know, if you really want to go anywhere. I mean, if you fly out of Hilton Head Island proper, you're going to Charlotte, maybe Atlanta, and then you're connecting, which is fine. But yeah, that's pretty much what you're doing. You're probably doing that out of Savannah anyway. But
yeah, I would figure.
All right, my man. Anything else before we get out of here on a Monday night?
That's it. I think we're 17 days from the Masters.
The countdown. Egg salad or pimento cheese? Have we talked about that?
Pimento cheese, but I like egg salad. And no pickles. I don't like pickles.
I've come around to pimento salad.
I had pimento cheese today. I like pimento cheese, but I assume that they're making some chicken salad at Party Girl Avondale.
Party Girl Avondale and Duval is definitely going to have a big production day with the chicken salad. And so, yes, absolutely. Party Girl over there.
I sent some.
You definitely did, and that was tremendous.
Friends did, and they were very kind. They said nice things. So
good. We love to hear it. Absolutely. I know Chef Heather loves to hear that, especially. But we got the NCAA tournament going on too.
And I would say
the Florida Gators over the weekend.
I would say that I thought for a minute on that note that Aiden would Holloway would potentially play this week if we won, and I have since been told that his season is done.
His season is over.
Now,
that's
sticks.
Sort of the sense you got.
Well, I got told it was there were some people jockeying of how to make it,
right.
His phone, the authorities got his phone.
Yeah.
And he was trying to prove his innocence, and he proved his guilt.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, Alabama was just fine without him against Texas Tech.
I actually think the ball. I would love to hear what you think. The ball movement.
Yeah.
Without the 2 ISO guards, then I felt like that helped. And then, hey, I mean, it's putting a bigger player on the court more times than not. You know, I mean, Reitzel does to fill in a lot, but ultimately, it got more of the taller players out there. We rebounded a million times.
Millette was great off the bench. I mean,
I think
effort.
I think that that they will. I mean, to me, I think we are getting into the flow on the offensive end more. Now you're rebounding more. You seem to be playing better defense. More people playing. They just played a lot more.
Well, much more connected defensively than they'd really been at any other point in the season because their rotations defensively, Alabama's for a Nate Oates team this year have been very underwhelming.
Very.
And they're man-to-man defense, but just the connection defensively.
I mean, I've called it the Olay defense, the Olay system a couple times. There's not
the ball either. Drives me crazy. Don't get me going on charge.
There could have been. By the way, they could have taken last night. I said last night there were 5 easy. All you got to do is.
Well, no. Everybody tells me on X you can't take charges anymore. They don't call them. Boy, when they definitely don't call them. When you don't step in front of the ball. If you don't step in front of the ball, I can guarantee you they're not going to call a damn charge. So
go watch some Shane Battier video.
Well, they'll tell you they've done away with the Battiers and the players like that, or even the Herb Jones from 4 or 5 years ago. Herb Jones took 2 charges a night, but apparently
he was illegal. Yeah. I don't think it's illegal. I think I
Guys
think
don't
it's
step
the
in front of the ball. They
I
won't
think
do
it's
it.
the effort piece of it. They're getting paid now, and they're like, hey,
Yep.
I'm not gonna
You don't get
injure
paid to
myself.
take
But
charges. No.
no one. I don't know of anyone that's ever gotten hurt taking a charge either.
Well, anyone that knows how to take one. I mean,
Right.
there's a cumulative effect. I put a kid through college taking charges, but she learned pretty quickly how to do it and protect herself and also sell it, by the way. She was great selling it because she would also let out the when she took it,
Yeah.
took the charge, and all the officials, even in college, Division I basketball,
If you're good and you
yeah.
got official awareness and they give you that and
Oh
you do
yeah.
that
Yeah.
and if
Yeah.
you fall and slide, but
Guilty,
why I
hey,
think it's
guilty
such a
is charged.
why I think it's such a lost start what they're missing is all of these drives to the hoop, especially you going down the baseline, they're not using the
They
out
don't
of
use the
bounds as a
baseline.
defender.
I see more players turn the corner and get the baseline than I've ever seen. Whatever happened with put your foot on the damn baseline? You, you,
That's where we
the
learn to take charges.
baseline is as wide open as it's ever been.
The baseline is your friend.
Yeah,
And last thing
but I hear
before
you.
we go, the Florida coach, what was your take on
Todd Golden.
his his
X
thought
Mob
about
came for Todd Golden last night, didn't they? They came for him.
oh, I read the
I
stats.
mean,
It shows that if which is shocking to me, but if he puts him on the line, it's
yeah.
like the percentages of him making one or
Mhm.
62% or something, which is pretty
Yeah.
low.
Yeah, I think he apparently had thought about that. I guess just pressuring full court in that situation when you didn't have to, I
Set up
mean,
to fail.
you weren't trailing, and they have size, in the front court. So get those guys, just get them on set up on defense, run them off the three if that's what you want to do, and run them into that size, and they're probably not going to finish at the rim. So
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't. It
You need
wasn't.
a three-quarter court on
Yeah,
ball
pick them up
defender,
3/4 court on
and then
ball,
you
but
get everybody else back behind you
they
guarding
were full court, like
full court
they
deny.
almost felt like they needed to get a steal and then foul, which they didn't because they were
Well, I
actually in
mean,
the
it makes sense it made him look to me like a really clueless a little bit to say that's what you were doing to foul. You were
right,
picking them up. You were validating what everyone thought. Well, that was dumb.
right, yeah,
If you're gonna foul, let him get it in, and then
yeah,
you foul him.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was wild. I didn't have Iowa, put it that way. I
No.
definitely did not. I didn't have Iowa, Nebraska in Houston as a part of the Sweet
Out of
16. Go ahead.
2,200, I'm down. I'm in the 400 left in the survivor pool that advanced. So we'll
Nice.
see.
Had a cousin a couple of years ago win the NFL Survivor Pool with 4 other dudes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
They
that's
got
a big one.
down to I guess they got down to the last 2 weeks or something. At that point, you can take
Chop
a
it up.
buyout, chop it up. They chopped it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, they chopped it up. It came
smart.
out to about the equivalent of what? I'd guess about a second place finish at the Players now is what he got. Yeah, not
That's
bad.
nice.
Not
Not
bad.
bad. That's
All right,
straight
my man.
cash.
It's always a lot of fun on a Monday night talking with you,
Thanks, guys.
and
You
look
too,
forward to
man.
doing it again soon. There he
All right,
goes,
off to
Casey
TGL.
Smith. TGL. Yeah, I mean, we got to watch this finish. 2-2. 2-2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for Casey Smith, Travis Reier, thanking you for joining us right here on Cart Golf on Reier on YouTube. And until next time, so long.